Hello. Hi. So it seems we are live right now. If there is already anyone seeing, just say hi in the chat. I'm just waiting to see someone. So that tells us that we are really live. Okay, just give me a second. Yes. Hi, Amanda. Okay, so that's okay. We are live. So I'm Sylvia. Hello and welcome to this webinar. And here is also Steffi. Hi.
Hello.
So I guess we'll just wait for a few more people to join us, and then we'll start talking about this webinar. Now I don't know if you already had a look at the description of the video, but this video is actually for beginners of Italian and Spanish. It's for those of you who would like to travel and need just as a way to start a conversation or to be more friendly, to have a good communication with native speakers. So that's why we have decided to make this webinar, because sometimes you may think that it's too embarrassing to speak another language, or that because you're not good at languages, people are not going to understand you. But it's actually really easy to, to start with the right foot, as we say in our page. So I think we could just introduce ourselves and then go directly to the slides that we have prepared for you. Oh, before we start, I also want to tell you that I have put a link in the description that will take you to a page where you can leave your email address, and we'll send you all the materials that we have used during this video. So you can have something you can go back to whenever you want. If you want to study what we have said and you didn't have time to take notes, no problems. We got you covered. You will have all the slides and a little more, a few links for things that we won't have enough time to cover today, and also a few infographics that will not be shared during the video, okay? So, I don't know, Steffi, if you want to make a brief introduction about what you're going to talk. Otherwise, we can just start with the presentation.
Okay, well, I can do that. Thank you, Sylvia. Thank you so much for that introduction. Okay, hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm thrilled to be here. I'm very happy to see that you are here too. And I'm going to talk about some culture facts behind the Spanish language, because as Sylvia said before, I also believe it's very important to keep those in mind when you're starting to learn a language, okay? And I'm going to focus on the Spanish habits and facts that I have observed as an Argentinian person living in Spain. And well, I'm kind of sort of going to compare both places. Okay, so one more time, thank you to be here, and let's get started.
Yeah, sure. So last thing before we start, you can type your questions in the chat, even when we speak, and we're going to take a look at them and answer them while we go. If we don't have time, or if we happen to not see your question, just feel free to retype it again when we finish with the slides. So we can give all of you the chance to have your question answered. And of course, I see here, Pamela, for example, I know you're a native speaker of Spanish, so feel free to give us your opinion or to tell us how do you say, if you make gestures like we do in Italian and in Argentina, tell us how it is like in your country. Okay, so I think it's time that we move on with our
It is.
presentation. So I'll be sharing my screen right now. If you just give me a second, I just want to make everything ready. And so there we go. Please let me know if you are able to see my screen right now.
I can see it fine.
Okay, so that's live. Welcome to this webinar about Spanish and Italian mix, okay?
Yay.
First thing first, let's meet the hosts. I am Sylvia, and I have created italearn.com, which is a website for all Italian language lovers. I teach most of the times I teach beginners, and that's what I have been developing methods to teach beginners, and especially people who feel they are not good enough for Italian or for any language in general. So my motto here is, you may not believe that you can learn easily, but I know you can. And thanks to my friends for suggesting this beautiful motto. So let's move on, and let's start with the first topic of our presentation, that is greetings. It's very, very important for you to know how to greet people in Italian, because, of course, that's how you start every conversation, even the most basic ones. This is what I think most of you already know, ciao. And that's what all of us in Italy say all the time. This is the basic way to greet people. But what does it mean? When should you use it, and what are the alternatives? So it means hello, hi, and bye. So we have just one word to say both in Italian. So you never get it wrong. You will use this word when you meet someone and when you leave. That's what we just said, basically. And there are no time restrictions. So you can use it in the morning, in the afternoon, at night, basically all the time, right? And that's really easy to learn. Now, this word ciao is very, very informal, and you will probably find yourself in situations where it is necessary to be a little more polite or a little bit more formal. So what are your alternatives? Here are two: buongiorno and buonasera. Literally, buongiorno means good morning. You can even use it when you mean good day. And buonasera means good evening. So you should use the first one in the morning and the second one in the afternoon, late afternoon. Okay. The last thing about the greetings in Italian is what to say when you leave. We already saw ciao, that's the informal way to say bye-bye. The formal way to say that is arrivederci. Now, just let me add a little note about this word, because many people use a slightly different version of this word. That's arrivederla. This is highly formal. So I'm just telling you that it does exist, but you really don't have to use it. Arrivederci is perfectly fine in most occasions. As an alternative, you could use buona giornata and buona serata. And these are especially used when you wish your friends or the people you're talking to, you want to wish them a nice day or evening. Okay, so they basically correspond to arrivederci or to a way to say goodbye, but they kind of include like a positive wish for the people you're talking to. Now, what are these more formal situations where you will be expected to use the polite form? For example, when you go to a public place, that's a restaurant, a shop, anything, basically, a hotel, a bank, people will probably expect from you that you greet them with buongiorno when you enter instead of ciao. But of course, if you see that the place is really informal, or maybe it's the fifth time in a day that you go there, just say ciao. It's okay. Don't worry. Also, when you don't know the person you're talking to, or that person is older than you, then you should be more polite and formal and use the buongiorno and buonasera words. This is true, for example, if you are in the middle of the street and you ask for directions. It's nicer if you call the person with buongiorno instead of ciao. Okay, they will be happy to hear that from you. All right, and now the last thing that I'm going to tell you about greetings in Italian is that buongiorno in Milan or in northern Italy in general is said throughout the day. Until there is light outside, they like to say buongiorno. So even if it's 6 p.m. and you go to a shop and they welcome you with buongiorno, that's perfectly fine. It's widely accepted, and feel free to use it too, because you won't be considered strange for saying good morning or good day, even if it's already evening. And on the opposite, we say here in Tuscany, where I live, we say buonasera really early. We start at around 1 p.m., which may sound strange even to Italian people, but that's very common. So it's likely to happen that you go to a restaurant and they say buonasera, even if you're going there for lunch. So if you want to use that, no problems. As I said before, it is accepted. So you won't sound too weird. And that's basically all that I have for the greetings. Now, is there are there questions about it?
Okay, I think it's interesting what you're saying about buongiorno and buonasera. So basically, after 12 or 1 p.m., I can say both, right? Is that correct?
Yes. Yes.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's just a matter of personal preference, not you just need to be polite. And then, I mean, no one will really pay too much attention if you say buongiorno at 4 p.m. or if you say buonasera at 1 p.m. So
that's great. I can never go wrong with those.
Exactly. So the most important thing is to remember that these are the polite forms. And so if you're feeling like you don't know the person very well and you would rather be more formal, use buongiorno and buonasera. But if you already know the person, if they're your friends, or as I said before, you're going to the same restaurant every day, ciao is perfectly fine.
It's not formal anymore, right? Okay, and how about arrivederla?
Yes.
Is that like exactly the same as arrivederci? Can I use both?
Yes. It's just too formal probably for everyday conversations. So unless you are talking to like a very important person or someone who is much older than you, you may want to say that.
I thought it was more informal. I don't know why, but it kind of sounded
No,
more informal.
the most informal greeting is ciao.
Okay.
That's
Great.
just it. There is also something, another word that many Italians use, which is salve, spelled
Oh,
Salve. And that's somewhere in between formal and informal.
okay.
Um, yeah, when you're not sure what to say, if you don't want to be too formal, just opt for that. Salve.
Okay, great. So Pamela was saying before on the chat that yes, that's right. That ciao will be as the same as our informal ciao, which I will be talking about a little later on. And
Okay, very cool.
yeah, and Jackie said that ciao is just like mahalo in Hawaii,
Oh,
right,
yeah,
Jackie?
okay,
That's
right.
true. Yeah.
Interesting.
Like
So,
hello
yeah,
and
so we
good
see
night.
many other examples
Mm-hmm.
of greetings in other languages. They're always useful. So, Estefi,
Okay.
do you want to start with the Spanish?
That's right. Okay, let's go for that. Okay, okay. Gonna share my screen and here it goes. Can you see my screen now?
Okay.
Oh,
Yes.
all right. So do you see the slides?
Yes.
Okay, good. So first, I would like to introduce myself. Okay, I'm Estefania Quevedo, and I'm the founder of SpanishWithSteffi.com. Okay, so I focus on the cultural part of the learning process, and I also like to help people socialize in Spanish, which I've seen that is not commonly taught in many courses or in many maybe language academies. Okay, so that's basically what I do. Okay, I try to help people get started with the socializing part of learning Spanish. Okay, to develop confidence when talking to native speakers. And well, let's first start with the basic all-purpose greeting, which is hola. I'm sure everybody is familiar with this. Okay, so hola is a greeting that you can use at any time of the day, any situation. That will be perfectly fine, but a little maybe too basic. So, moving on to some more informal examples. Okay. We have the first one, hola, ¿qué tal? Hola, ¿qué tal? Will be like, what's up? Hi, what's up? Okay. And this is something that you can use among friends, family. Okay. And then we have, ¿cómo va? ¿Cómo va? Okay, so just as the one before. Okay, so hi, what's up? How is it going? More like, right? So I can also use it to say hello to my friends and family or acquaintances, maybe. Okay, and the third one is a little bit funny because I never heard it before, only maybe in some movies. But I can also hear it here in Spain, okay? And which I find funny about is that people tend to exaggerate it, okay? They might raise their arms in the air like and be like ¿Qué pasa? Okay? So, this is not supposed to be like that, okay? You can just ask ¿Qué pasa? And that's sort of the same as ¿Cómo va? Okay, only that we don't really use this one in Argentina, or at least I haven't heard it. And the fourth one will be buenas. Okay, that will be a greeting that you can also use at any time of the day, and that will basically mean good morning, good evening, good night. And funny thing about this one is that you tend to um, like pronounce the E and the A little bit longer. So it will sound something like buenas, okay? Buenas. And that you can also use it maybe when you enter the store or to any other place where there are a lot of people and maybe you don't want to say hello to each one of them. So you just You just throw a general buenas, and that will be all. Okay, and now moving on to the goodbye greetings. Okay, so here's the ciao that Pamela was talking about before. Okay, you can just say ciao, and that will be bye, an informal way to say goodbye. And which the one that I've seen that is most commonly used here in Spain will be hasta luego. But again, funny fact about this one is that the first word loses the first part, only the ta remaining, and then the u and the e on the second word, they're joined together and they turn into an o. So this will sound something like talogo, talogo. Okay, so it doesn't really sound hasta luego. That will sound more like talogo. And okay, and then we have the formal ones. So on the formal side, we will use something like ¿Cómo le va? ¿Cómo le va? And which marks the formal aspect of this one will be the le, because le will be usted. Okay. Or we can also say buenos días if it's in the morning, buenas tardes, and buenas noches. Okay, if it's in the night. Okay. And yes, these are all part of a more formal registry. Okay, so you might be more likely to use them if you don't know the people that you're greeting, or you don't have a close relationship, or you're not somehow related to them. Maybe it marks a little distance. And well, that will be basically all about the greetings. I don't know if you, Sylvia, want to um, something about it. What do you think? Which one would you be more likely to use?
Oh, well, as former Spanish student, um, I knew already a lot of them.
Uh
And
huh.
what I have always found so interesting is, and most fascinating actually of Spanish, is that because it is spoken in so many countries, um, each country has its own way of saying the same thing. So, for example, here in the chat, we were saying, Pamela, who is from Peru, said that
Oh,
Hola, ¿cómo estás? Is very, very popular there. And then we
okay.
have Estela from Argentina,
Mm-hmm.
and she also says that Hola, ¿qué haces? Is very popular in the
Oh,
north of
yeah,
Argentina. Well,
absolutely.
sorry, not
Yes,
very popular. She says sometimes that's what they say. Hola, ¿qué
yes,
haces?
Stella, you're
Or
right. Hola, ¿qué haces? Yeah.
yes, I
Oh,
realized later that it wasn't ¿qué haces? It was ¿qué
¿qué
haces?
haces? Right, yeah. Absolutely. Okay, good. All right, so now we're back to you, Sylvia, with more talk about coffee. Okay, so
Yes,
um,
exactly. The
Italia.
coffee routine in Italy and in Spain and Argentina. We chose this topic because it is like bread and butter for Italians. It's
Yay.
what everyone, yeah, after water, I guess this is the second drink that we have here in Italy. So everyone has coffee, at least one coffee a day, maybe except me. And I know that it's the same in Spain and Argentina. So coffee is also a good conversation starter. So that's I think that's perfect for beginners. So let me share my screen again,
Yay.
and and we'll start with this new topic. Okay, so here we are. First of all, what is a bar in Italy? Why do Italians have breakfast there, and why standing? So these are questions that you may be asking yourself when you come to Italy, because probably we have different habits than yours. So what is a bar in Italy? That's a cafe. And there are several types of bars actually, but the most common thing to do there is going there for a coffee at whatever time of the morning, afternoon, evening. So the second question that I have for you is, why do Italians have breakfast there? And the reason is really simple, because having breakfast at the bar is a treat. So many people look forward to it. Really, they enjoy having their breakfast at the bar. But most of the times it's a very quick breakfast and very, very simple, just a coffee or a cappuccino and a croissant, and that's it. And most of the time you will see people standing at the counter while having their breakfast or their coffee. And that's because, especially at the rush hour, so let's say around 8 in the morning, between 8 and 9, maybe, people are having their breakfast right before going to work. So they don't have time to sit at the table, read the newspaper, talk with the friends. That will be just standing there at the counter, have their coffee, and go straight to work. So that's why most people stand. There is also another reason. Some places in very famous cities, tourist cities like Rome or Florence, for example, there are some cafes, especially those very, very close to any touristic attraction, I don't know, museum, or I think about Piazza della Signoria, for example, in Florence. In those kind of places of bars, cafes, sitting at the table actually is, and having your food and drinks at the table will cost you much more than order and consume your drinks standing at a counter. So if you're visiting one of those bigger cities, you may want to ask before ordering. So you should ask how much it is if I sit, how much it is if I just have my food standing. So that's one cultural tip that maybe it's useful for you. Now, what do Italians order? This is a very long list, and it's far from being complete, I must say, because there are tens of combinations, of possible combinations, and Italians tend to be a little picky with their coffee. So let me just read you a few examples from this list. Café is the espresso coffee. So you don't have to say that you want an espresso coffee. Maybe pronouncing these words is even a little difficult for you. Just go for café, un café, because that's how we order coffee in Italy. Now, the problem is when you want a specific kind of caffè, it can be ristretto, doppio, al vetro, in tazza grande. So these are all options that you could ask the barista. Ristretto, for example, means that it's just a smaller quantity compared to the standard. Double, you're basically getting two espresso coffees in the same cup. So that's a very, very strong coffee when you're really at the bar, but you're still sleeping and you want to wake up, order a doppio. Okay, and then we have cappuccino. I'm sure you already know it, so just move on. Macchiato, that's an interesting one because it's coffee with a splash of milk. And there are so many versions of that. You can have your milk cold, you can have it hot, or you can have your milk skimmed, you can have soy milk, etc., etc. Or maybe you want to order a decaf, that's a decaffeinato in Italian, or simply put, deca. Then many people here in Tuscany, and I know in northern Italy, have their coffee corretto, which means they add a little spirit, like most of the times it's grappa or rum, or even, sorry, I don't know exactly how to translate that in English right now. It's anise liquor. We call it sambuca here. And it's very similar to what you can find like in Greece or in France. So I guess all countries on the Mediterranean have their anise liquor. What else you could order in a bar? You can have a latte macchiato, which is very similar to a cappuccino, just the proportions are different. Here, I think, well, every region has, let's say, a different recipe, but generally speaking, there is more milk and less coffee compared to a cappuccino. A very common coffee you get in summer is café shakerato. It means that your coffee is mixed with ice, and the barista will shake it for you and then serve it in a small glass. In summer, you can also have an espressino or crema di caffè, and I think it speaks for itself because it's coffee with cream, and it's like let me try to find the right word. It's like a very soft coffee ice cream. So that's delicious. And one thing that I didn't add to this list, is something that I always have when I'm in Puglia. That's in the south of Italy. That's actually the heel of Italy. I like to have my coffee with almond milk, or even sometimes almond syrup. So you have like a small glass with coffee, ice, and almond milk. That's delicious.
Wow, it does sound delicious.
Yeah,
No,
it
Amanda is
is. It
asking
is.
us on the
Yeah,
chat if it's licorice like ouzo, what you put. You mentioned some spirits that you might put
yeah.
in your.
That's very similar. That's very similar.
Oh,
It's
wow.
just that this one is not more like licorice, although the taste can be the smell or perfume. It depends on how you like it. Is more similar to anise seed. Sorry if I am not pronouncing it correctly. It's just
Well, it's not an English lesson, so.
yeah, I know. I know I'm good at English,
Okay.
but sometimes there are some words that in my head I'm sure I pronounce well, but I probably get them wrong.
Exactly.
Anyway, I think that from the question, I understand that she understood exactly what I was talking about. Now, if you are in a bar, what and when should you order? So you could definitely order everything that I have just mentioned, but don't expect the barista to be your friend anymore, because if you are as picky as Italians are, well, baristas are not that happy. Of course, I will serve you what you asked, but the simpler, the better.
They
And
would
one thing
probably
to
give you a look.
remember, yeah, yes. One thing to remember that's useful for you to know is that after a meal, if you're at a restaurant, for example, it is perfectly okay to have a café or deca, which is the uh, decaffeinato, or a macchiato, that's the coffee with a little milk, or corretto. So those three are the most served and asked for coffees after a meal. Now, a few words about cappuccino, because I know that a lot of you love it. So,
Mm.
just one cultural note: in some areas of Italy, you may hear the word cappuccio. That's a friendly way to call cappuccino. Um, That's, as I said before, the Italian breakfast. So if you ask Italians what's their favorite breakfast, I guess 90% of them at least will tell you it's cappuccino and croissant at the bar. So, well, we love it, and I'm sure most of you love it as well. And it's the perfect breakfast, and it is also okay to have it in the afternoon, like when you want to have a break and you're craving something sweet. So that's perfect.
Okay, for la merenda.
Yeah, yes, for the merenda, exactly. But remember to never order a cappuccino after a meal
Mm.
if you don't want to get loose, if you don't want people to talk on your back because you have ordered a cappuccino. You will definitely be labeled as a tourist if you do that. Now, of course, you can have it if you want to, but if you wanna behave or be like an Italian, instead of having a cappuccino, order a macchiato.
Okay.
That's what Italians do. So it would be, like really living as an Italian if you do that. And
Okay.
now, how to order. So it's really, really easy. Un caffè per favore, or un cappuccino per favore. So, sup, cafe, cappuccino, whatever you want to order. You don't even need a verb to order a coffee at the bar. Okay, so it's really, really easy. You just say what you would like to have, and you have your please, per favore. And that's basically it. So, not difficult at all, I guess.
That's great.
Um,
Okay. So it looks like
yeah,
you were
right.
spelling it right, like you were pronouncing it right, says Amanda. The word
Oh, great. Thank you,
uh,
Amanda.
I don't think I can pronounce it though, but anise, is that like
Yeah, yeah.
okay, so all right.
All right, and
Good,
then
good.
one last thing about coffee. Uh, if you have been to Italy or you're planning to go to Italy, be prepared to have the locals ask you out for a coffee. That's our way to welcome you. So, what do we usually say when we want to go out for a coffee with someone? We say, ci prendiamo un caffè? That's a nice way to ask your friends out. Or you can also say, prendiamo un caffè without the little word ci before. The right verb to use with coffee is drink, of course, and in Italian that is bere, bere. And you could say that, beviamo un caffè insieme? So let's have a coffee together. Uh, I wanted
Cool.
to let you know how to say that because it can be useful. Maybe you wanna thank somebody and offer them a coffee, or maybe you want to ask someone out, and to just to keep things very easy, you ask them for a coffee. So, ci prendiamo un caffè insieme? That could be
Good.
a nice thing to do.
Okay, great.
Oh, sorry. I thought it was finished, but I forgot it was this last slide to show you. Myths around coffee. I know there are thousands, maybe, but anytime you will ask Italians about what people say about Italians and coffee, they will say Italian coffee is the best in the world. So my conclusion is that all these things that you hear about Italians and coffee, well, they are probably all true. And remember, Italians are so proud, yeah,
Oh,
so
okay.
proud of their coffee. So be careful when you talk about coffee with Italians.
Okay, we'll keep that in mind. And also not to order a
Yes.
cappuccino after a big meal if we want to make friends and not enemies when we visit
Yes.
Italy.
Yes, exactly.
Very good. Okay.
So
So
now,
now we're
Steffi,
moving on to
to
more
you.
coffee.
Yes.
And let's see if I'm already sharing my screen. And yep, can you see it?
Yes.
Okay, so Okay, so let's start with Argentina, and maybe the other Argentinians that are joining us today can help me out here. I might have forgotten things a little bit. But anyway, our most common ordered coffee will be café solo, okay, just regular black coffee. And I think it's quite similar to the espresso, to the Italian espresso. Then we also have the cortado. Cortado has includes a little bit of milk. Okay, it's also a small coffee and has maybe a quarter part of milk. And then we have café con leche. That will be basically the same as a cafe latte. And one that is a curiosity, in my opinion, because it's lagrima. Okay, so in this case, you will have just a regular black coffee, but you will add what will be literally as a drop, a teardrop. That's the name for this coffee. Okay, so you can actually see the little drop of milk on your coffee when you order it. Okay.
This, sorry to interrupt, this sounds
I'm
really
sorry.
romantic.
Yeah, but actually, oh
Lagrima.
my God, you know what? You know what? I say it, I say it the other way around. It's the other way around. Okay, so you order milk and you add a little drop of coffee.
Drop.
Oh my God,
Nice.
yeah, it's the other way around. Okay, so you can actually see the little teardrop of coffee on your milk. Sorry. Okay, and moving on to Spain. Okay, here they also have a café solo. And then something kind of funny that I encounter here is that as Spaniards usually have café con hielo, which is coffee and ice, okay, just plain black coffee or cortado with ice. But here in Valencia, they will call it café del tiempo, okay, which actually makes you think of a warm coffee, but it's actually cold after you add the ice, and they also add lemon, okay, just a little slice of lemon to your coffee, okay. So it's weird that
Yeah,
you have
this
to
one
order
sounds
as a
strange, I guess.
café del tiempo. I
Exactly.
know.
Especially the lemon part.
The
But I
lemon
think we have something here too. Yeah, we add lemon, the lemon peel. Uh, I guess it's called bomba, so the bomb. But you
oh
also add, yeah, I think there is rum. That's a bomb, right?
wow, okay,
So
okay, good.
yeah, nice to know that there is something similar in Spain as well.
There is. And then we also have the café con leche, which is a cafe latte, or I think it's kind of the same with some minor variations according to the place. And another one that I love would be the café bonbon that includes condensed milk on the bottom. Okay, so you're supposed to stir it up and mix it, which makes a delicious mix to drink. Okay, it's a very, very, very yummy coffee. Okay, so you have to try it if you're in Spain. And then we also have the carajillo. I will pronounce it as carajillo, but here they will say carajillo. Okay, and it's basically the same as the one you were mentioning before, Sylvia, the corretto, I think, right?
Yeah,
And it
right.
includes some spirit also, so it can be rum, grappa, or whatever other spirit. Baileys also, and it's quite
Mm,
delicious
yeah.
too. I like it very much. Yeah. So the differences that I've observed between a bar in Argentina and a bar in Spain, well, I'm sure there are lots of them if somebody wants to point out some differences, but the one that I think it's more notorious that I've seen is that we don't really do the standing at the bar at the countertop that much in Argentina, which I've seen they do it a lot here. People like to stay next to the countertop, okay, to drink their coffee, or as the same as you were telling us before, Sylvia. People
Yeah.
do the standing part a lot, which I don't think we do that much in Argentina. Of course, anyone can correct me if I'm wrong, but I at least haven't seen that much in Argentina. And another
Okay.
difference that I've observed is that people here, I think they gather a lot more in bars than we do in Argentina, which we also do a lot, but um, we also tend to get together at somebody's house, maybe. And I haven't seen that so much happening in Spain. I don't know. Of course, if somebody wants to point out the opposite, you can totally do so.
Yeah,
But
of
that's
course.
what I've
Welcome.
observed.
Yeah, welcome to tell us their experience.
Yeah, and ordering a coffee is also very easy. You can say un café, por favor, o me traes un café. Okay. And you can also invite somebody for a coffee with the phrase tomamos un café or nos tomamos un café. Nos tomamos un café. Okay. And the star in Argentina, which is mate. Okay, so you have to remember that this one is pronounced as latte. Okay, don't confuse it for mate. It's mate. Okay, and well, the other Argentinians here can agree with me when I say that I could be talking about this forever because there are so many things to point out about it. But I will just say that basically it's an herbal drink that we all have together from a cup with a metal straw. So we have this herbal beverage in a group and we pass it around. We share, yes, and we share the same straw. That's what
Yeah,
happens.
that's
Yes,
that's an interesting thing to know beforehand,
it
so you are
is.
prepared.
Yeah, so be prepared. If you really want to become an Argentinian, if you want to act like somebody that is from Argentina and not like a tourist, you don't have to be weirded out by the fact that somebody might want you to share the straw with them. And this is not a bad thing. Actually, it's completely the opposite. It's a friendly thing to do, okay? And how to invite somebody for mate, you can just say, tomamos un mate, or nos tomamos unos mates, okay?
Okay. I think, Steffi, I think I missed what you said for a second. I'm not sure if it's just me
Oh,
or
or
the
everybody
other
else.
people actually were able to. So could you just say your last sentence, what you were talking about?
The one about inviting people for mate?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can just say, tomamos un mate, or nos tomamos unos
Okay.
mates, and that will be all. Or just say yes if you're a guest. Okay, okay. So now
All
we're
right.
back to you, Sylvia. We're going to talk about some
Yeah,
gestures.
actually, we have a couple of comments from our viewers. And Amanda says she
Oh,
loves cortados. So,
wow. Okay, yeah. They're very
yes,
good.
and she is also familiar with mate. And because,
Wow.
yes, she has received this bag of mate that was labeled Amanda. So,
Oh, I
perfect for
know.
her.
Yerba mate Amanda. Yes, of course. Yeah.
So, is it
Wow.
a famous brand?
I know it. I know it. It's delicious. One of my favorites. Okay. Very good, Amanda. You're a local already.
Yes, and she said she also had a bombilla. So,
I
wow.
yes, I'm reading her comment. Wow, that's amazing. Wow, where are you from,
Yeah.
Amanda?
So there is
Okay.
probably a little a little
Yeah, well,
delay. So yeah, we'll we'll
we will read her
we'll see
reply
her.
later on.
Yeah,
But
her
anyway, that's
reply.
amazing,
Your
Amanda.
reply in a second.
Congrats.
Yeah. And one thing that I would like to say that I just forgot to write, but maybe we can talk about it,
Uh-huh.
is that there is a difference between Italy and Spain when you order a croissant at a bar or at a cafe, because here in Italy it is served on just on a little plate, and you take it with your hands and you eat it. Well, that's different in Spain, right?
Of course it is. Yes, you need a knife and a fork, which I also find ridiculous. I'm sorry, because in Argentina we have the same croissant, only that we call it media luna, like a half moon.
Right.
So
Yeah, and I
yeah, and we
also
also
found
have
it
it with our
really
hands.
strange. Really
I
strange when I
find it
was
too.
in Spain, yeah, to have
Absolutely.
knife and fork to eat the croissant. But I want to do as the Spanish do, so I use them.
Yeah, well, when in Rome. Okay.
Yeah, exactly. So Amanda says she's from Texas in the United States, but she was born in New Mexico, and all her family loves Latin American and Hispanic culture. Great, Amanda.
Cool. That's great, Amanda. Okay.
Oh, yes, and she's also learning Spanish.
Great. Okay. Well, that's a good start with the mate.
Yeah, and
And
Estela says
Jackie
she
says
loves
that
mate.
she
Oh,
wanted
sorry.
to love.
Yeah,
Oh, we're stepping on each other. I'm sorry. You go.
yeah. Oh, I was saying that Estela says she loves mate with media luna.
Great.
It's a match that I have never tried. I'm curious.
You have to. You have to. It's great.
Yes. And you were saying before I
Yeah,
interrupted.
and Jackie also said that she wanted to love mate, but she thinks it's an acquired taste. Yes, absolutely. It's very hard for you to get like befriended with mate if you don't start maybe early in your life. So it's quite a challenge to actually love it after as a tourist or as a newcomer to Argentina or to any other country when they have mate. But anyway, you can always give it a try.
Yes, and Estela says her favorite yerba mate is Rosamonte.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting if someone is going to see the replay, so they won't be able to see the chat. So if you have like brands that you know and you would like to tell us, that's perfect.
Absolutely.
So we now have
Kraus. That's Kraus. And actually, it's
cool.
an organic sherba. It's very healthy too. And I love that one. So
All
try
right,
it
so we
if you
already
want.
have three brands for mate.
Yeah,
That's interesting.
there it goes.
Right. So I think it's time to move on to the last topic that we
Let's do
have
that.
prepared
Yeah.
for you. It's already been about 1 hour. So the last thing we're going to talk about is gestures or speaking with your hands. This is something that Italians do a lot.
Hmm.
And yeah, it's one of those things we are known for. Now, if we have enough time, I'm going to perform some of those gestures for you.
Yay, I want to see that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. But I'll start with the presentation, and then we'll see. Or if you have any requests, just let me know because I can
Yes,
try
absolutely. Now's your
and
time to make
show you
requests.
how to talk with your hands
Yeah,
in Italian. So now you should be able to see my screen. So
I can see
that's the
it.
title, Stick with Your Hands. All right. So the first thing that I feel like saying is that speaking with your hands or with gestures is just another way of communicate with people. It's nonverbal language, just to be a little more technical. So gestures, hands in this case, do have their own grammar. So it means that there are specific situations where you will perform, make a certain gesture instead of another. So um, if you would like to speak with your hands like Italians, but you are a little unsure or of what gesture to make in a specific situation, just Wait for Italians to make it and then imitate them or ask. So you avoid embarrassing situations, because with gestures, it is really, really easy to, to do them in the wrong way. So you are misunderstood, sorry. So be careful with them. They're really funny sometimes, but give yourself a little time to really learn what they mean before you can use them. Now, in Italy, we use gestures together with words. So while speaking, or we can communicate only with gestures. And when we talk, we can use our hands, our facial expressions, or even our entire body to reinforce what we are saying. So, so here, it's really important that you know what you're talking about or what
Hmm.
you're moving,
Absolutely.
because yeah, that's important. Sometimes there are situations where you cannot speak. Uh, like in a some formal situation where someone else is speaking, or you are in a theater, for example, and speaking is not allowed. So you will use nonverbal communication, gestures, and you will speak with your hands. And again, as we said for coffee, there are many, many cliches and stereotypes about Italians speaking with their hands. And again, what can I say? They are all true. And
Okay.
yeah, there's nothing else that I can say, because that's true. We do speak with our hands, and you can learn to, as I said before. But remember, it's important that you do not exaggerate the gestures, because too much, and it's really easy to do too much, will make you
Hmm.
look like you are making fun of Italians. Well, that's just not too nice. Okay, so if you're not sure about what you're going to say with your hands, maybe it's better if you ask before, or if you see what other people is doing. And that's basically it for the
Okay.
slides. So I don't know
Cool.
if someone has any questions about it, and otherwise I don't know, I can show you some gestures maybe.
Yeah, something that I wanted to point out about this over exaggerating the gestures is that perhaps
Yeah.
maybe the one that we share. I mean, we Argentinians and Italians share the one with the hand like this. I don't know if you can see me now, but he
Yes, I
says
do.
what? Okay, so I think the mistake that most of the tourists make is that they raise their hand too high, maybe, so it doesn't go up to the height of your head. It stays maybe in the field of your neck, maybe up to your neck. Okay, so maybe you
Yeah,
do a quick like this, and that's it. You don't do what like this, like some people.
exactly. Sorry, just another cat magically appeared behind me. This one is real though.
Yay, cat. Okay, so just keep it
Yeah,
below your head.
chin.
Okay, just keep it like
Yeah.
here. Okay.
Yeah, I see, especially in movies or in YouTube videos, I've seen many people doing like this in a very strong way, that it's not really how we do that. It's softer movement, maybe. Unless you're really, really angry, and then it can be like faster, but you do this when you want to say, what are you talking about?
Okay, or maybe with
That's
both.
one,
Okay.
just one situation. Yeah, because there are others when you can use the same gesture with a slightly different meaning. Or remember, we were talking about another one yesterday, and that's the gesture that we use to say, let's go, or go away, let's move.
Hmm.
And the gesture, yeah, you should be able to see, the gesture is this.
Oh, okay.
And
Like let's go, right?
yeah,
And how?
Exactly.
What should we
So,
say as we do this?
well, you
What should we
can
say?
say something like andiamo.
Andiamo. Andiamo.
Yes.
Okay.
Or yeah,
Good.
yeah, that's
Good.
the most common. That's the verb to go, andare.
Yeah.
That's easy. And if you do this while you're saying andiamo, you're like highlighting the fact that you really want to go away. So
Right.
um, yeah, um,
You want to leave the
and
place.
yes, definitely want to go. And one way to use this gesture without speaking is, as I said, you are, I don't know, at a theater, some meeting where you cannot speak. You will just maybe do like this. You will get the attention of the person who's with you, and you will just look at them and say, sorry, say and
Okay, that's
do like
practical.
this.
That's good
That's
to know.
very
Okay.
practical. Exactly.
Great. All
So
right. So, maybe just a
yeah, I
quick
know there
note
are
about gestures
thousands.
in. I'm sorry. I interrupted you. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I was just wanted to mention one nice thing that I have just witnessed today. Um,
Okay.
my cousin has a daughter who is 1 year old, and the great thing about her is that she's learning to speak right now, and she's very, very, I would say, attentive. She looks at what everybody is doing and she
Mm-hmm.
listens. So, for example, she learned, maybe she saw her mother doing it. She learned a gesture for when you say more or less. That in Italian is più o meno, and you can do like this, more or less,
Yeah, we have
più o meno.
exactly the same.
Yeah, see, right? So,
That's right. Okay.
and and so it was so fun because this little girl, every time she heard her mom or anyone else actually saying these words, not even to her, just saying them, più o meno, more or less, she does.
Like this.
That's funny.
Okay, that's
So this
cute.
shows that we really
Cute.
have gestures, and the culture of speaking with our hands is built in for us.
Okay. Yeah, absolutely. Well, I just wanted to point out two or three little things. Anyway, those are on the slides and you're going to receive them later on. But I don't think Spaniards speak with their hands as much as we Argentinians do. Now, everybody can correct me if I'm wrong, but we share a lot of the gestures that Italians have. And I haven't seen those gestures so much here. Okay, so and just a little note on a gesture that we make with our hands to order a coffee. We can be just sitting on a table in a bar and we look in the waiter's direction and we raise our hands and we do like this. And it means that we're ordering just plain black coffee. And the
That's
waiter
very
gets the
useful.
idea. Yeah, it is, right? Okay. That will be pretty much all. If anybody
Uh,
has any questions, I don't know, Sylvia, if you want
we
to.
have a comment. Yeah, we just have a comment from Amanda who says, "I'm going to teach my husband that gesture, so the next time I want to leave the in-laws." That's
Oh,
cool. Yeah.
yeah, that's a good idea. Yeah, just be discreet,
Yes. Exactly. Exactly. You don't want to do that. It's
Yeah.
in front of them, because what if they know Italian?
Right. And Stella says that her nonna used to do those gestures. Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. See.
Yeah, probably your
Okay.
Italian
So,
nonna, right? Yeah.
oh yeah, I know that. I know that. That many Argentinians have Italian origins, so
Yeah.
it
And
can be
there's
right,
another
Estella,
one that
that
is like, get out of here, and we will raise our hand and do like this. Get out of here. Like, da.
yeah, in Italian, that gesture also has another meaning. So,
Yeah,
uh,
maybe not a very nice one, right?
yes, exactly. Like something like, excuse me, for language, it's like go to hell.
Go to hell. Yeah.
something like
Yeah. Well,
that. Yeah.
yeah, we don't want to curse, but I think maybe you get the idea, or it's very
Yes,
popular.
you do that when you're frustrated with something, and it's the 10th time that you're trying to do something and it doesn't work, and you say,
Bafa.
you-
Yeah.
yeah, or or it's just whatever.
Whatever. Yeah. Well, I think that's more the meaning that it has in Argentina. Like anda.
All
Whatever.
right, but I know that you have prepared something more for us, right, in your slides.
Yes, that is pretty much what I was saying before. I can share it though. No, you will receive it, but let's see. So what I was pointing out before about the gesture to ask for a coffee, I don't know why it's not.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
there it goes. It's a little
it's
bit
there now.
slow.
Yes.
Yeah, but okay, there it goes. And how like I was saying before, I haven't seen this much speaking with their hands in Spain, though I have seen some gestures, but maybe not so much. Okay. And the way you can order coffee with your hands, as I showed you before. Okay. Oh, and some funny fact about the kissing part when we say hello. I think in Argentina we always tend to kiss on one cheek though, only on one cheek every time that we meet somebody one more time. Okay, so I haven't seen this that much in Spain happening. They just kiss on both cheeks for one time, and then next time maybe you don't. If I mean if there's not a long time in between the next time you see this person, you don't really kiss this person again. Okay. Though, well, in Argentina we do kiss everybody, and I mean everybody. Maybe if we arrive, it's a dinner with friends. If and there are 20 of them, we kiss everybody on one cheek, or at least this is what I've seen. As I always like to point out, maybe it doesn't work. And some other funny fact, Argentinian men just say hi with a kiss on the cheek. They're fine with this too. And in Spain, this looks very, very weird. Okay, so they never kiss on the cheek between men. So yeah, and that's basically everything. I don't know if anyone has any questions about this.
No, not yet, at least. And this part about kissing to say hello as a greeting, well, of course, we do the same here in Italy. We do kiss twice,
Okay.
and in my experience, we don't kiss the person the first time that we meet them, but we do afterwards. So every time we meet with our friends or family, we do kiss on both cheeks, and this is also common between men. So it's not
Oh,
strange at all.
okay. So I see where that
Yeah.
comes from. So we only have
Well,
one.
maybe. Yeah. I don't
One is
know.
enough.
Yeah. No.
All
We
right.
have we have two.
Yeah. So I think it's time to wrap it up.
Yeah.
We hope that
Oh, we
everybody
have to
had
say
a good
just
time. Sorry?
yeah, we just have to say one thing that regarding kissing that can
Oh,
be useful for people when they are traveling to Italy and Spain, because yes, we both kiss,
oh
but
yeah.
yeah, that's an important one, right? But here in Italy, we start. So we give the first kiss, which it's not always a real kiss. It's just maybe you get closer with your face to the face of the other person. You don't have to kiss all the time. So right,
Uh-huh.
um, we
With your
go
head towards.
yes, we go with our head towards our right side. Okay, so basically the first kiss happens on the left cheek of both people, and the second on the right cheek. So I'm doing it. I don't know if you will see my video backwards, but anyway, we first go towards the right and then towards the left.
Yeah. And
And
it's the other way
but I
around here
know,
in Spain. Whereas in Spain, the face goes first to your right and then to your left, right? So it's the
that's
opposite.
in Italy. That's in
Okay,
Italy. I
so
guess in
we will do it
Spain you
here.
go first
Okay,
towards your left.
towards your left and then towards your right, which might cause some funny accidents to happen. Last time I saw one of this was last weekend when an Italian girl arrived to a group, and of course she wanted to kiss hello one of the guys there, and they kept doing this to avoid kissing on each other's mouth, you know. And we were like
Yeah.
cracking up, staring at them. What are you going to make up? No. Okay, so
Yeah,
remember.
that's that, yes, exactly. I was just wanted to say that because it's so funny and it has happened to me as well. Yeah. Well,
They have a hard time.
maybe, yeah, maybe you wanna, now that you know this little thing, you wanna do it on purpose.
Yeah, maybe you do. Why not? But otherwise, remember. So in Spain,
Yes,
first
exactly.
turn to your left. Your
Yeah.
face goes to your. In Italy, turn to your right.
We yeah, we go to our right first. So be careful when you kiss someone.
Or not.
Or not.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, Sylvia, I don't know if you want to say anything else, or we can call it a webinar. And thank everybody so much for being with us here. It means a lot
Yes.
to us that you're there and make comments and are interested, because this is what we love to do. So, if you have any questions, even after the webinar, or if you want to join our newsletters to keep in touch, okay, we're not selling out anything. It's just to for us to get befriended and, well, to keep in touch basically. So I don't know if you, Sylvia, want to add anything else.
No, because that's exactly it. And we'll just wait like one more minute because of this delay to see in case there are other questions. But thank you so much for being here with us, for asking questions, for telling us about your experience. We're really happy that you were here with us. And as Steffi said, you can ask questions even after this live session is over, so it's ended. Just write it in the comments or send us an email. I have left our web addresses in the video description, or if you want to receive the materials of this free lesson, just go to the other link that's in the description and give us your email address, and we'll send you everything for free. And I explained this in the email that you'll receive as well. You will not be subscribed to any list. It's just for us to send you the materials. So of course, you will receive an email with a little note to unsubscribe, and you can just do it as soon as you have downloaded everything that you need to download. And if you want to stay in contact with us, if you know would like to receive more materials, more free materials about Italian and Spanish, just subscribe to our newsletters or come look for us on social networks. We are on Facebook and Instagram, and I'm sure you will like what we have to say.
Yes,
So
if you
thank you
like
again.
the webinar, you sure will. Okay, so thanks. Oh, Stella, thanks for your time. Okay, and
Yes, exactly. Thank
see you
you for being
around.
here. Yeah. Thank you,
Ciao,
everyone.
ciao.
Ciao. Ciao. Ciao.